It wasn't just a film about the devil, it felt like an invitation. When Rosemary's Baby hit theaters in 1968, it didn't arrive with a scream.
Religious, my
It
dear, are
crept
you?
in like a shadow across the floor, quiet, precise, and impossible to escape. This wasn't horror from blood or spectacle. It was something subtle, something colder. Polanski didn't direct fear, he constructed it, frame by frame, smile by smile. He wrapped it in polite neighbors, soft lighting, and wallpaper until you couldn't tell the difference between comfort and corruption. And then, the tragedies began.
What have you done to
The kind
him?
that don't stay in fiction, the kind that follow people home. Some say it was just time, others call it coincidence. But if you've seen the film, you've seen it. These are 20
What have
weird
you
facts
done
you
to
didn't
him?
know about Rosemary's Baby. Fact number 1. The fear didn't come from demons. It came from humans. Roman Polanski had one rule when crafting Rosemary's Baby. No tricks, no stylized lighting, no melodramatic music cues. If evil was going to exist in this story, it had to feel like something that could happen just down the road. He approached the script with a psychological case study. The apartment had to feel lived in. The characters had to feel ordinary. So instead of monsters, he gave us powers. Instead of blood, he gave us smiles. And that's what made it horror. Because true horror doesn't announce itself, it blends in. Just long enough for you to forget it was ever dangerous at all. Fact number 2. The scene that shattered her wasn't on the page. While filming one of the film's
this?
emotional breaking points,
Do you know where she went?
Mia Farrow received a
Terribly
real-life
urgent.
shock. She
Don't
was handed
forget,
divorce
hmm?
papers by Frank Sinatra's lawyer in the middle of a take.
Be afraid
No
of
warning.
Rosemary, honest and
No
truly
pause.
there isn't.
Just a little dropped into her arm like a coffin. She didn't stop. She kept firing. Her voice
Wait a minute.
her style blazed. Polanski saw
We happen to be in labor here.
and
Supposed to be doctor's
ended
hospital.
up on screen.
Please don't. No, she isn't here, Elise. I'll have her call you back.
It was pain, caught in real time.
And you're
Preserved
kidding
in
me.
celluloid. Fact number 3. That melody wasn't meant to belong until it did. The opening lullaby wasn't in the original one. It was just a piano theme, eerie and soft. But late in the sound process, Polanski made a quiet request. Let me sing. No authority. He wanted to hear the air like breath on the edge of stage. So he did. And it changed everything. What should have been a comforting scene became a trapdoor into dread. Her voice was too soft, too pure, the kind that makes you lean in. And then, regret it. It wasn't a lullaby anymore. It was a warning. Fact number 4. The building didn't act. It loomed. The Dakota, the real-world structure used as the Bramford's exterior, wasn't just chosen for its Gothic aesthetic. It was already infamous. Locals told stories. Strange gatherings. Unexplained sounds. Windows that stayed dark for months. Polanski didn't need to dress it up. He only needed to aim the camera. Its stonework did the rest. Years later, the location made headlines again. Not because of fiction, but because of murder. John Lennon, shot outside its very entrance.
Of course.
The same archway Rosemary once passed through on screen. The line between set and omen had been erased. Fact number 5. The devil might have gotten screen time uncredited. Anton LaVey, head of the Church of Satan, was rumored to have been involved in the production. Some claimed he served as a consultant. Others swore he played the devil in Rosemary's dream sequence. There's no official proof, but LaVey never denied it. He let the rumors grow, and they did. To this day, fans search frames for his face.
You can go up on a
But whether
steep hill
he's
in Las
there or
Vegas
not,
and look.
the idea that a real
That
Satanist
place
could have stood
where the
behind the
waves-
scenes changed how audiences viewed the film. It wasn't a story anymore. It was a ritual someone might have taken seriously. Fact number 6. The nightmare wasn't planned. It unfolded. The most surreal moment in Rosemary's Baby, a dream laced with fire, religion, and dread, wasn't carefully storyboarded. Polanski built it instinctively, shooting fragments, layering texture, trusting chaos. He directed Mia Farrow in whispers, told her to surrender to the moment, to drift, to fall. What emerged was something more primal than structured a sequence that doesn't explain itself, only infects you. It's not a scene you record. It's one you absorb the way we remember real nightmares. Out of order, out of logic, but never out of Fact number 7. The scariest detail was how normal he looked. When Rosemary finally looks into the cradle, we never see the baby. No claws, no monstrous face, just her reaction. Viewers imagined the worst, but Polanski had a different image in mind. In a rare private comment, he once described the child as having bright, crystalline blue eyes. Not evil, not twisted, just piercing. It was the ultimate subversion. The devil's child didn't need to look like a beast. He just needed to look like someone you could love. Because that's how darkness survives when it wears the face of something familiar. Fact number 8.
I was brought up
The neighbors were cast to feel safe
Because
on
he
purpose.
pretends that he's
The
holy.
Castevettes weren't
That's a
caricatures.
hypocrisy
They
behind
were
organized
charmers.
religion was given, I
Polanski
thought,
wanted
in
viewers to
Finney's
feel
understudy.
comfortable with
No.
them, even drawn to them.
Well, that's
That's why
what
some of the
gesture was
background
that?
cult members
Well,
weren't
I know,
actors
I'm
at
not
all.
sure.
Kind
They
of
were real
involuntary
elderly
reach.
locals
That's
from
it.
New York.
My
He
father
wanted
was
the
a
evil to look
theatrical producer.
inoffensive,
Oh,
ordinary,
yes, please.
like
You
the
have
kind
a
of people
most
who bring you soup
indeed
when you're
provided,
sick.
of course,
That's
that
the
you
trick.
get those initial
When evil
parts.
smiles at you,
Well, I
you
can't
smile
believe
back.
that you won't
By the
get
time
them.
you realize what's underneath,
Glad I could be
they're
of
already
help.
sitting at their dinner table. Fact number 9. The cries in the birth scene weren't created. They were captured. When Rosemary
this?
gives birth,
Do you know
the
where she
sound
went?
design becomes
Terribly
disorienting,
urgent.
raw, primal,
Don't forget.
unsettling. What most people don't know is that those
Afraid
aren't
of
Foley
Rosemary,
scores.
honest and truly
They were
there
taken
is.
from real childhood captured in hospital phonetics studies. No filters, no actors. Just real. The
Wait
result?
a minute now.
A sound that
Be in labor
vibrates
here.
like human feet.
Here?
One you
Here.
recognize
You'll
as
please
a
Doctor's hospital.
You're gonna be perfectly all right. I give you my absolute.
kind of scream that doesn't come from pain. It comes from life. And that's what makes it harder
I'm
to shoot.
sorry.
Fact number 10.
Director Roman Polanski
She walked into traffic and into history. There's a scene where Rosemary, dazed and terrified, wanders into Manhattan traffic. It looks chaotic, dangerous, too real, because it was. Polanski didn't close the street. He didn't ask for permits. He just told Mia Farrow to step into the road and keep walking. She was visibly pregnant. He figured the cars would stop. One cab didn't slow down until the last second. She flinched, and the camera caught it. That shot stayed in the film, because for Polanski, authenticity mattered more than safety. And for Mia, fear was no longer performance. It was instinct. Fact number 11. He wrote the score. Then he died like one of his characters. Krzysztof Komeda's score defined Rosemary's Baby eerie, fragile, unforgettable. But within a year of the film's release, he fell down a rocky slope during a party, hit his head, and slipped into a coma. He never woke up. Strangely, he had scored a Polanski film years earlier where a man suffers the exact same fate. It was fiction then. It wasn't now. He died at 37. The lullaby he composed still plays. It didn't just outlive him. It followed the script he never meant to write. Fact number 12. The moment she slipped, something else came through. During the scene where Rosemary eats the drugged moose, her consciousness begins to fracture. Farrow played it subtle until she didn't. Without direction, she began mumbling phrases. Some nonsense. Some sounding like Latin. Some, disturbingly, like prayer. The crew kept rolling. Polanski said nothing. And when he listened to the audio later, he chose to leave the sounds buried under the score. Not loud, not clear, but there. It was no longer just a scene of sedation. It became a possession, and no one knew where the voice came from. Fact number 13. People saw the devil. The film never showed him. Ask any fan what scared them most. Many will say, the devil in Rosemary's Dream, the eyes, the claws, the shape. But go back and watch it. He's not there. Not once. Not in shadow. Not in flame. Polanski knew that suggestion.
Wait a
lasted
minute
longer
now.
than exposure.
Be in labor here.
Instead of a monster,
Here?
he gave you space and
You'll please
Doctor's hospital.
You're gonna be perfectly all right. I give you my absolute.
because the scariest things are the ones we invent, especially when we're sure we remember.
I'm sorry.
Fact number 14. She may have appeared. Then she was gone. Sharon Tate, Roman Polanski's
When did the
wife,
pain start?
visited the set often. Some say
Been
she
in
appeared
pain
on
since
screen during
November, and he's not.
recovery
He's very good.
veiled, just out of
He was
focus.
on open.
Warning
No
that
credits.
something
No
isn't right.
confirmation. Then,
Can't
a
go
year
on
later,
suffering like
she was
this.
murdered.
I won't have
The
an
link between the film and her death became too eerie to ignore. If that's truly her in the background, even for a second, the film became her final cameo and her foreshadowing. Whether the footage confirms it or not, the myth is already stronger than the proof. Fact number 15. The Vatican didn't scream. It went quiet. When Rosemary's Baby was released, the Catholic Church didn't stage protests or issue statements. Instead, it added the film to its index of forbidden works quietly, without comment. It was never publicly debated, just removed from grace. But silence speaks too. And in this case, it said something louder than outrage. This isn't a film to argue with. It's a film to avoid. Because when even the church decides to look away, people start asking what it saw first. Fact number 16. One country banned it not for what it showed, but for what it stirred. In Italy, Rosemary's Baby was never just a movie. It was a threat. Not to morals, not to decency, but to belief. It wasn't the blood or the devil that led to its ban. It was the atmosphere. The implication that evil could move quietly, not with fire, but with flowers and neighbors and lullabies. The Vatican called it spiritually corrosive. That was enough. The film disappeared from screens, but not from memory. Because ideas, once seen, are harder to ban than films. Fact number 17. The nursery was missing something
And to
everywhere.
its eyes.
There's a moment in the film where Rosemary
What are you
walks into the
talking
baby's
about,
room.
guys? Eyes are
No mobiles,
normal.
no toys.
He came
just
up from
space,
hell and begat
just
a son.
wait.
Adrian.
It wasn't
He shall
unfinished.
overthrow the
It was
mighty and
designed
lay
that
the burned and the
Polanski wanted
tortured.
the room to feel
Hail
like a shrine
Adrian!
Out of
to
all the
something
world,
that
out
hadn't
of all the
arrived yet.
women, the whole world, he chose you.
It
His
wasn't a
might
place
shall
of
last
joy.
longer than
It was a
longest.
vessel. And like any vessel, it needed to be empty before it could be filled with whatever was
God
coming.
is...
Fact number 18. Hair transformation didn't need prosthetics, just hunger. Mia Farrow's descent in the film from healthy to hollow wasn't achieved through makeup. She refused it. Instead, she chose to lose the weight herself. Tea, fruit, barely enough to stand. She wanted Rosemary's frailty to be real, not acted. And it was. Her bones began to show. Her eyes grew darker. Her voice dropped to a whisper. It wasn't just commitment. It was surrender body first, soul after. Fact number 19. The poster didn't advertise a story. It encrypted one. One face, one cradle, one unnatural shade of green. The official poster for Rosemary's Baby doesn't scream horror, it whispers it, like a secret passed between shadows. Mia Farrow's face hovers, detached, silent. The baby carriage sits isolated not on a hill, but on a silhouette. And the color, not quite mint, not quite sickness. A green invented to feel off. Polanski called it spiritually uneasy. It wasn't a poster. It was an omen hanging in plain sight. Fact number 20. The lullaby didn't end the story. It restarted it. Originally, the film was supposed to fade out with silence, a final, empty breath. But in editing, Polanski changed his mind. He brought the lullaby back the same melody from the beginning, now loaded with new meaning. It was soft, almost sweet, but now it sounded wrong, not comforting, not safe. Because it wasn't just a song anymore. It was a cycle, a ritual repeated, and it promised that this nightmare would sing again. Bonus fact, the apartment is still there. The stories are still breathing. The Dakota still stands. The building that housed fiction's most cursed birth, and later, real-world tragedy. The unit Polanski modeled for the film interior is based on a real floor plan. Some say it hasn't changed much. Others say it refuses to. One tenant once remarked that sometimes, late at night, the light in the hall flickers always at the same hour. When asked if it bothers him, he shrugged. "It's just a building," he said. Then he locked his door and double-bolted it. Some films end with credits. Others keep their windows open. If something about this film has never left you, you're not alone. Tell us which fact left a mark, or which film we should unravel next. Like, comment, subscribe. Because stories like this don't die. They wait.